morning, squad. Happy hump day. Welcome back to MadMizzy Sports Morning Show, the #1 spot for everything sports talk, sports news, sports debate in the morning. And with not so much sports going on last night, a bunch of baseball going on. Shout out to the Yankees for getting a win in. Shout out to the Dodgers and the Phillies, I believe, all getting wins in their first game of the AL and NLDS series respectively. But I want to wait for baseball to get a little bit more deeper into the divisional series before I give my takes and breakdowns on it. But yeah, we got to get into this Brett Favre and his role in this Mississippi welfare scandal situation, and is the media unfairly smearing his character? We got to speak on, I didn't get to touch on it yesterday, all the Las Vegas Raiders already done through the first 5 games of the season being 1-4, and no suspension for Draymond. He'll be back with the Warriors Thursday. What does that mean moving forward? But before we end it off, we got to speak on, does the clarity of Paul George coming out saying that he's the #2 player and Kawhi Leonard is the clear #1 player put them over the hump in La La Land for the Clippers? Let's get right into it, gang. Now, this Mississippi welfare scandal has been going absolutely crazy, from politicians down to investors, down to athletes. Brett Favre has not been criminally charged yet. Brett Favre is facing civil lawsuits right now. He did receive money for no-shows that he did give back, that he's getting sued for interest and this, that, and the third. But is he being unfairly smeared in the media? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say honestly, if he wasn't Brett Favre, it would be a lot more media coverage around this. There would be a lot more negative comments around this. Although I want to give props to Shannon Sharpe. He came out immediately and exposed Brett Favre for being this type of dude just throughout his entire time. Knowing Brett Favre, like, he's a liar, he's a scam artist. Well, not a liar and a scam artist, but he's just not a good, positive person. So I appreciate that from Shannon Sharpe. But when I go on ESPN, there's really nothing on it. You go on Fox Sports, there's really nothing on it. When you look at the totality of it, they saying $77 million was taken away from a TANF fund. That is a fund for temporary assistance for needy families in the poorest state in the United States, in Mississippi. So you taking, basically, like everybody's saying, you're taking money from the poorest people of America to fill the pockets of the top people in the poorest state of America. You feel what I'm saying? So that's just sickening. When you look at, if Favre is involved, which it does look like he was involved, knowingly involved, you think about, this man made $140 million throughout his career off of endorsements and NFL contracts alone. $140 million. You go out your way and say you're trying to raise money for your alma mater, the University of Southern Mississippi, I think it's the University of Southern Mississippi, USM. But you got $140 million. And that's just off of what you made from the NFL. That's not including investments and this, that, and the third, side jobs, whatever you doing, side interviews you getting paid off of. This is just endorsements like Nike, Gatorade, the major ones, and your contractual, what you made contractually. $140 million. You could have wrote a $20 million check yourself. You sitting up here texting the governor, Phil Bryant. You texting Nancy New. Yo, we need money for a volleyball stadium. Yo, we need money for an indoor football stadium. Yo, Brett Favre, you got money, bro? You can reach out to the NFL. What you asking us for, dog? And you see clearly in the text messages, and this is why I say he's not getting smeared and is not getting enough coverage, is that the governor sat up there and told this man, we can't give you no more money. And if we take more money, it could be illegal because we'll have to take it from funds that we can't take it from. Yes, we have money, but it's not for no football stadium, no volleyball stadium, none of that. No health and wellness center, none of that. It's for the people that can't feed their family. It's for the people that don't know how they going to get their next meal. You get what I'm saying? Temporary assistance for needy families. I don't think a volleyball stadium is helping in any way for a needy family. When we talking about needy, we talking about they don't have clean water. They not eating. They don't have a roof over their head. You get what I'm saying? They probably living in shelters. And y'all taking money from these people? It's sickening, man. It's sickening. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, when you look at the text messages, But this is the thing. I feel like the government is tightening the screws, but I feel like a lot of people that were involved with Brett Favre also know that they're not going to throw him under the bus, unlike the situation with Michael Vick. I feel like everybody knows when it comes to these situations, the Brett Favre, the Michael Vick, that's the prize bass. You feel what I'm saying? That's the prize fish right there. But in the case with Michael Vick, his family turned on him. No, he was the one that was pushing it. He was the one, this, that, and the third. Instead of biting the bullet and letting Michael Vick go back to playing football, they threw him under the bus. And this is the quite opposite. You get what I'm saying? These politicians, Nancy knew, they sealing up. Or they already pled guilty, so there's nothing really more that they can say. For me, I feel like Brett Favre played a major role in this. They probably just trying to gain the evidence right now to rein him in. So yeah, in the near future, I see an arrest coming down and criminal charges being placed on Brett Favre, like the text messages, the money, the funding. I feel as though it's all going to tie together eventually, and Brett Favre is going to face some type of criminal charges. Let's move on though. Are the Las Vegas Raiders done already? 5 games in, after revamping their roster, going out, getting Devontae Adams, getting Chandler Jones, getting Josh McDaniels to be the head coach. Yes, they're done. When I looked at their schedule isn't super tough, but their schedule is respectable coming down the stretch. You think about their last 2 games, they face my Niners and they face the Kansas City Chiefs. So if either one of us need those games, listen, they probably not winning those games. You think about next week, I think they go to New Orleans, then they go to Jacksonville. That's 2 games that the Raiders in their history, the Raiders team right now, they should beat that. They should win those 2 games. But the Raiders history shows they're not going to come out and play like they should. And they might, and they're probably going to mess around and drop one of those games. So when you look at it, for them to have any type of shot, because the AFC East is stacked. You think about the New England Patriots now are back to being 2-3. The Buffalo Bills are already good. And then you got the New York Jets that are 3-2. And they just got their quarterback back. So I think they're going to stack up some wins this year. I think the Dolphins are going to slide back down. But I think the Patriots are going to start to stack up some wins. So I think that AFC East is where you want to keep your eye on. The AFC North as well. When you think about the Cincinnati Bengals are probably going to turn it around. They already are, 2-3 at this point. So like, just being behind that 8 ball is going to be hard for them to get that last slot. And not to mention, in their own division, you got the Chargers at 3-2. They're not going to catch the Kansas City Chiefs. And you got the Chargers at 3-2. So I'm seeing it being a very hard uphill battle to try and make the playoffs for the Las Vegas Raiders at 1-4 in that AFC. So for me, yes, the darling Raiders are done after 5 games in the 2020-22 season. Get ready for 2023, fellas. Let's move on, though. The Warriors decided to only fine Draymond Green and not suspend him. He will be back tomorrow playing for the Golden State Warriors or practicing with the Warriors. I'm not sure if they're playing tomorrow. But what does this mean? For me, this is a clear indication that I don't think they're going to try to patch up the relationship between Draymond and Jordan Poole. I feel as though they're trying to keep it together just like the Warriors the last year with Kevin Durant and Draymond when they went through that thing. But somebody's going to be going after this year. That's as simple as it gets. They know what the goal is this year, to repeat, to back-to-back. But somebody's going to be going after this year, and 9 times out of 10, it's going to be Draymond Green. When you think about the situation, you cannot continually let this dude punch people out, not suspend him. You give him a fine. The man makes like $25-30 million a year. What did he say last year when he got fined? He said, I make $20 million a year. You know what I'm saying? 100,000 ain't that much. You feel what I'm saying? So you can't continually find this dude and not take something away that's going to make him sit there and think about his actions when he's doing certain things. You get what I'm saying? Like, he was this close to punching out KD on the sideline. You feel what I'm saying? So for me, that just shows that I feel like the Warriors were like, bro, this is done. We're done. Don't come talk to us about no contract. We're going to win this chip. Try to play your best so you can go out there and get the best contract available next year. Or I think he still got a player option next year. So that's why they're saying they're not even addressing the contract issue, because you have a whole nother year next year before your contract expires. So for me, I don't see how they move forward. I don't see how Jordan Poole, honestly, I don't see how Steph and Clay move forward, knowing that this is how he can react sometimes. It's like, yes, we know we're the core. Steph, Clay, Dre. But it's also like, bro, you can't be punching people lights out, because that's not in Clay or Steph. Like, he's so much drastically different than who they are personally. I don't see how you can continue to try to balance those drastic differences. You get what I'm saying? Like, you look at a Steph Curry. What? Steph ain't getting in nobody's face. Clay ain't getting in nobody's face. You feel what I'm saying? Like, they'll ratchet up the competition and get in your face as far as defensively and start knocking down shots and embarrassing you on a basketball court. But ain't nobody going to go up in your face and touch your manhood. And then when you push them and back them out your airspace, they going to knock your lights out. No. You feel what I'm saying? So to me, Golden State has to address this, because me personally, I just don't see how you rebound from somebody acting that way towards you, bro. I just don't, man. Like, that's something, like, especially as a team. And I love the fact that a lot of athletes came out and said that is not normal. A fight like that is not normal. And just like Steve Kerr said, we don't know what it had with the Michael Jordan Steve Kerr thing. We don't know if it was a boop, quick jab. You feel what I'm saying? Boop, shut up, Steve. Oh, dag, he stole him. But I'm pretty sure he didn't, what? You feel what I'm saying? Come from 3 feet away and throw his whole body weight into little behind Steve Kerr. He probably would have broke that man's face. You feel what I'm saying? So I just don't like no suspension. I just don't like the way it seems like the Golden State organization gives Draymond Green a pass to do whatever he wants to whomever he wants. Like, to me, that's just not a good look for the Golden State Warriors, and I don't see how Draymond continues to be a part of them moving forward after this contract expires. I just don't. Moving forward, does the fact that Paul George came out and said that he's the clear number 2 and Kawhi Leonard is the clear number 1 player for the Los Angeles Clippers make their situation better in Los Angeles and closer to winning a championship? I say no. The only thing that's going to get them closer to winning the championship is health, and continuity. They cannot go out there and play 60% of the games together. That's what they did the first 2 years. They cannot go out there and have the injuries like they did the past 2 years. If Kawhi's out for a majority of the year, God forbid, they're not a title contender. If Paul George is out for a majority of the year, God forbid, they're not a title contender. So he mentioned the Miami Heat, and when Dwayne Wade came to LeBron and said, all right, well, it's your team, I'm taking a step back. I understand that, but they made the finals. They lost in 6 games. They probably should have won that first finals, regardless of who's taking the reins as the best player on the team or who's not. So that's, to me, not a good comparison. Paul George has been a part of some stacked teams of late, especially ever since leaving the Indiana Pacers, being on that OKC team with Melo and Westbrook after he averaged a triple-double, coming to this Clippers team, being in a bubble, giving up 3 straight 20-point leads in the second half against the Denver Nuggets to fold in the bubble. This stacked team did that. So to me, it's not about the clarity and who's the number 1, who's the number 2. It's about the continuity, getting that where you want the ball at, where you are most comfortable and most effective at, and what are you going to get out of the complementary players? What are you going to get out of John Wall? What are you going to get out of Reggie Jackson? What are you going to get out of Zubac? You get what I'm saying? What are you going to get out of the Mans of the world, the Terrence Manns of the world? So to me, that clarity is good and it bodes well, but the best thing for the Clippers is going to be health and continuity, getting that chemistry together. So yeah, that's going to be the only thing that'll make them close to knocking off the Warriors, or let's even say Memphis, let's say Dallas, Denver. Yeah, you're gonna need some team chemistry to knock off those teams, because they have the talent and they've been together for so long. You get what I'm saying? Like in Denver, they've been together for 3 years and now they coming back healthy. So it's gonna be a very, very interesting dynamic and very competitive in that West, to where you just won't be able to, all right, we got Paul George and Kawhi Leonard like when they first came together. Like, nah, the Warriors are back. You got the Lakers over there. You got Memphis coming up. You got Denver coming up. Dallas coming up. The Suns were there last year. So these teams aren't fading away. And you saying that I'm the 2 and Kawhi's the number 1 isn't just going to be enough to get you over the top of those teams that have been there these past couple years. But yeah, episode 31. Happy hump day. Let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, share, subscribe, listen, alert. MizzyWorld Entertainment. Have a productive day. Gang.